Kelly, Rick, and Lewis.
So the other day, Lewis made a great post on Facebook. It was a picture of a stick that was found. And, when you're a kid and you find a stick, it kind of becomes a weapon.
Damn right it does.
Most of the time.
My mom used to yell at me all the time for leaving sticks on the porch. I'm like, it's not a stick, Mom. It's a sword.
That's right. But that one was a great stick. I mean, it looked like it was
a broadsword,
whittled to be a sword. Yes, a broadsword.
You walk around with that going, hey, neighbor kid, there can be only one.
I mean, it was like a +8 broadsword.
Yeah.
It probably had extra agility came with it.
Maybe. Did you ever play with sticks, Kelly?
Oh, I'm sure I did. Yeah. And the great thing about that is you can say, no, it's just a walking stick, when in your mind it's really a hurting stick.
Absolutely it is. It's a fun day.
So, you think about stuff like that as a kid. I mean, obviously, I hope you weren't running around with real guns when you were like 9, 10 years old.
Let's see. There's a disconnect because the youth of today.
I know.
Why would I use a stick? Mom, why can't you just take me to the store and get this super cool Nerf gun so I can play with my friends? I don't want to have to use a stick. Do you know how lame that is? Using a stick is cool. You just don't know.
Right. So I just wondered what was what was the best weapon, that you owned as a kid?
Mine were marble click-clacks, those clacker thingies, the big marble balls, and you you clacked them. They go up and down, and hit against each other. Do you know what I'm talking about? The click-clacks, the clackers, or whatever they are. Oh, man. You get those things going real fast. First of all, it's heavy. They are heavy marbles.
Yes.
And then you just move towards your sister, buddy. Move towards your sister. Like, this is going to hurt. Just brace it. Brace
not the
for
bad
it.
guy next door, your sister.
Oh, your sister. Yeah, no, this is... And then an unintentional weapon were jacks. And you didn't mean to, but you left them on the floor.
Yeah,
They're
it's like
worse
Lego.
than Lego. Worse than Legos, because they have, pointy ends.
Now, you would also hold your... I don't know if Lewis knows this, the way you would hold your sister down and pretend that you were going to spit on her.
Yes.
Yeah. You would, let it... It would, start to come out of your mouth.
No, that wasn't me. But I have threatened to spit. I did not actually spit.
That's like the poisonous mist.
I was weirder.
Legit.
I would threaten to pee on my sister.
Oh, my God.
That is so. Wow. I would use my own bodily fluids as a weapon.
I never drew that sword.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
You ever try to use a whip like Indiana Jones and swing across things? That never worked for me.
Oh, pool towel. 100%
the pool
using
towel,
that as a whip.
Absolutely,
Pool towel will leave a hurting on
you. You get it all wound up, and then you wet. You got to have the end wet.
Buddy.
What was your weapon, though? That's the question. You were a nunchucker, I see.
Yeah, nunchucks, man. And we made our own at first. With you'd cut a broom handle up into two. And then put little screws on the end and the rope, and I made my own nunchucks. And
you go, Michelangelo.
Dude,
or were you Bruce Lee at that time?
Bruce Lee. It was all about Bruce Lee. Enter the Dragon. Greatest movie of all time when you're a kid. And you see, Bruce Lee work those nunchucks in Enter the Dragon. You're like, that is it. I got to do that. And I still have some, and and they're not homemade anymore. They're legit. And I can still work those sons. Man, I'm telling you.
I should have brought my samurai sword in.
You have a samurai sword?
I do have a samurai sword.
It's not a stick.
It's got a very distinguished signature on the blade, though. You'd notice, you'd probably recognize it. It's Randy Jackson, but I was in the airport, and all I had was my samurai sword for him to... No, I'm kidding. No, I do. No, I have a friend that is Asian, and he gifted me a samurai sword.
Wow, that's cool.
Legit, true. And then Ryan, the kid in my household, it's got the tie, the ceremonial tie that hold. He opened the tie so we could take it out. I'm like, what are you doing with my sword? Don't touch another man's samurai sword.
Right. So we posted on the Blitz Facebook page, all these different weapons, made out of sticks that are shaped like guns. Of course, you got a honeycomb as a hand grenade and all that kind of stuff. And we were just wondering what was your best weapon that you owned as a kid. You can post on the Facebook page, text us at 99700, or give us a call 1-800-821-9970.
It's your Morning Blitz.
Tool on the Morning Blitz at 8:39 with Kelly, Rick, and Lewis. Man, I should have known. We started talking about weapons you owned as kids and which were the best weapons. Man, it's amazing that some of you guys are still alive today. I'm not even joking.
I wish I was allowed to take the samurai sword I have now out to play with the kids, but of course they would have frowned upon that. But,
How are you going to play with the kids with a samurai sword?
You'd find a way.
Find a way.
Chris texted in the Mr. Quarterback toy had a timer on it, and then it would launch objects like snowballs or water balloons.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Luke said not to forget that large rocks also made great grenades. You're not wrong.
Well, of course.
Yeah, Mike says he used what they referred to as alley apples, which were busted blacktop pieces. And they would just whip them at each other.
Oh, okay. All right.
Alley apples. That's pretty funny, Mike.
Steve Miller, not to be confused with the Joker, said that sissy stuff, we use BB guns and some of them CO2 powered and wrist rockets. We never put anyone's eye out either. Nope.
Now, Connor said we had PVC pipes that we would use for rocket launchers, and bottle rockets were the ammo. I love it.
Yeah. Kyle said, killed way too many bad guys with my stick guns. Spoiled kids these days with their Nerf guns and couch cushion forts. Exactly. It's not the same thing.
Colton just called it a hurtin' stick.
Oh, my gosh. Brent from Johnstown says his uncle came back from Vietnam and gave him a throwaway bazooka. It's only good for one shot. And then you toss it? What the heck?
That would have been so awesome.
Whoa, that's every kid's dream.
Right?
What?
You know what I always wanted? I always wanted a bolo. You know what a bolo is? It's where you have the string with the weights on it, and if someone's running, you throw it and trip them. Oh, I wanted a bolo so bad. You bolo them with the bolo, then you go in and go for the kill.
The police just use the nightstick to do that with now.
Yeah.
Buzzard said throwing stars, nunchucks, and bow staff. We had all of those. The nunchucks were my favorite, but I did have some throwing stars, and definitely bow staffs were just, everybody had the bow staff.
I remember when my friend's parents took us to the flea market, and I saw the guy that had all the ninja gear in his flea market booth, and I always wanted to buy it so bad, but I was never able to, the real legit stuff.
Right.
Wasn't allowed though. My parents frowned on buying us shurikens.
Did you read this one, Connor? Said they had PVC pipes that they would use for rocket launchers?
Yeah, with the...
Oh, did you already say that?
Rocket.
Sorry.
We did that. That was fun.
I'm deep in these comments. They are delighting me. I love all these weapons. I mean, we'd make anything into a weapon.
Brett said yard darts. The ultimate
yard
dart. Stab, thrust, projectile of destruction.
I mean, you had a jart, man. Remember the kid who got killed on The Sopranos with a yard dart?
Yes.
Right in the eye, man. Spoiler alert.
We are giving a lot of credit to sticks, but there are other things that could be used as wiffle bats. Wiffle ball bats made great lightsabers.
Oh,
and
dude.
Hot wheel tracks. You get smacked with a Hot Wheel track, you'll feel that.
And we would hit each other as hard as we possibly could with a wiffle ball bat.
Absolutely.
Or the track. I mean, you really could just
do
get
some
a
damage.
welt like you wouldn't believe from a Hot Wheel track.
Oh, yeah. The piece of the track is, absolutely. All right, let's see. Missy said I had stick swords. Now I have 3 real ones, one of which hangs in my bedroom. Love swords. Okay, Missy.
Dustin said potato guns. I just bought my husband a potato gun. It is so fun, you guys. We had so much fun with that thing.
I've never even seen a potato gun.
Oh, my gosh. It's it is so much fun, and it fires potatoes out of it at a really high speed.
What's the point, though?
It is basically just to shoot something.
Okay.
It's just fun.
All right.
You take this
I just didn't know if
potato
they had a special purpose.
You use hairspray, aerosol hairspray. You light that bad boy. It fires this potato out. We set up a mannequin to try to knock over with a potato gun. It is so much fun. I cannot describe to you. It must be experienced. I insist you come over and use the potato gun with us sometime.
It sounds great.
I am so pissed that my mom was a responsible parent. Buzzard said, our flea market didn't give an F. I bought Chinese stars at 10 years old. Come.
Oh, yeah. Back then, man, you could buy. Nobody
dream.
cared. They just wanted your money. They didn't care if you were a kid.
You don't need to play with those. Yes, I do. You don't know, Mom.
Brian said I lived on a farm and we used bullwhips.
So many times I tried to swing on a bullwhip and it never worked. You saw Indiana Jones swing across the gorge. I'm like, give me a rope that I'll pretend is a bullwhip. It just never worked.
Justin said slingshot with metal balls, rocks in a pinch. I love windows.
Someone said earlier you could make a bow and arrow out of a stick. I could never get that to work either. I always broke the stick.
Yeah.
Just use it as a javelin. That's what a stick's really for, right?
Sure, a spear.
Fire that bad boy at
For
someone.
everything, yeah.
I threw an empty high C can. I think it was a high C can or a coffee can. We were playing kick the can. I got mad at my cousin. I threw this thing at him. It was the greatest weapon because he had to get stitches.
Oh, good call.
I mean, is that like hardcore? Like I gave my poor cousin Richard a gash so big in his face that he had to go get stitches.
No, it was a good day. You whacked your friend with a weapon. Sure, you cried for a minute, but then you rubbed some dirt on it and went right back out there and continued the war.
No, I cried pretty hard. I really love my cousin. He still has a scar to this day. To this day, we are the same age. He has a scar. I am telling you, he has a car dealership, Sunbury Car Company. If you go there to buy a car, I insist that you ask him to see the scar on his face that I gave him. It's there, baby.
That's Jason said a can of Aquanet and a lighter makes a fantastic flamethrower.
Oh, yeah. Who didn't do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Kelly, you and Michael would have been good teammates because you mentioned this during the Tool song, the towel rat tail.
Yeah.
Where you wind up the towel and you wet the end of it and snap that.
I couldn't get the rhythm right to do a good snap.
Oh,
but
really?
They did that in the locker room a lot.
Oh,
like
man.
people would do locker room, like
Absolutely.
towel snaps.
Oh, we'd have the battles at the pool.
Yep.
I mean, you could even get like a big sound out of the snap.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I couldn't ever get the
You
right
take-
rhythm
we
on
would
that.
take the skin off each other.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
We just did Indian burns.
Danette said that they had a green apple tree in their yard when she was growing up, and those sumbitches hurt. Absolutely.
But Michael also was using the glass clackers as a throwing weapon to bind somebody's legs. Throw them at somebody if they were trying to run away.
Heck yeah, man. You could swing those around. You could work them as a nunchuck. I mean, there's so many uses for click-clacks.
Ken Flowers said that the flea market on Livingston Avenue used to sell ninja stars and butterfly knives and the switchblades that shot straight out of the front. And hell, I was only 10 to 12 years old. God, I grew up in the wrong area.
Right? Jeez. Now, we've had a couple people like Jody here who talked about the paddle ball game. Dual use. The paddle of the ball on the elastic string.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me of Steve Martin and the Jerk. All I need is this paddle ball game.
God, kids
And
these
this
days
lamp.
just don't understand. Like, you know, this is a good example of everybody use their imagination. Because when you were like 7, you didn't see a stick. You saw like Excalibur and you went to war with it.
Right. Amanda Moore said, so, Lewis, were you the naked man that was running down the Dayton streets with a sword a couple of months ago?
No, I didn't know. No.
It wasn't you? Are
That
you
was
sure?
not me.
All right. A lot of people are texting in slingshots.
Colton is a real Ohio boy. He says they used to chuck buckeyes at each other, freshly fallen from the
nice.
buckeye tree.
Nice.
Jeez.
Crab apples, those are good. Those sting if you can get a good hit.
Rob, he said, straight pen, toothpick, masking tape, and a large straw to launch the projectile. Whew. And then Lori said, how did any of us ever make it out of childhood? Ryan said, we always had welts all over us. These sissy-ass kids these days couldn't last, LOL.
Brandon said nothing beats a good Roman candle fight. Agree.
Oh my gosh, I love Roman candles. I've never fired it at a human, but they are fun.
So much fun when you fire it at somebody.
Much more fun. Yeah.
By the way, disclaimer, don't go out and fire Roman candles at each other.
I mentioned the image that you posted on the Blitz Facebook page, Lewis, of the different weapons, and I said honeycomb as a hand grenade, and I did mean pine cone. It's not a honeycomb, it's a pine cone. So somebody texted in and said, are you sure you meant honeycomb? No, you're right. I meant pine cone.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay, Cal.
Amy said, my brother put dry spaghetti in his air pump BB gun and shot her and her sister.
Wait. Dry spaghetti?
Dry spaghetti in his air pump BB gun.
And it just all broke up?
I guess.
Several people have thrown horse patties at each other. I never did that.
That's a farm situation there.
I don't know if I've either missed out on something really good or am I blessed?
I guarantee that person was a 4-H kid, which I absolutely wish I was a 4-H kid because it's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And if I was a 4-H kid, I would be getting in manure fights. You better believe it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I never did that. Like I feel like I missed out on something. Potato guns. A lot of people had I never had the luxury of potato gun. I wish I did, though.
You guys, you can make potato guns. There's instructions. I bought one. I think it was like $70 on Amazon. But you can make them.
Huh.
Yeah, and all you need is like, your hairspray and a lighter and a few potatoes.
We should all get together, much like our soon to happen at some point in time karaoke tour. We should all get together and everybody should get sticks and we should see what happens as adults. See how long anybody lasts.
John Schulip said we would play joust on our bikes in front of our parents and they would just laugh as we tried to kill ourselves. Wow.